Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to be finally doing a full disassembly video of the 1911. The first video is going to start with the slide, and then the next video is going to start with the lower frame. So, before obviously we handle any weapon, we are going to clear it. And as you can see, there are no rounds in the chamber. From there, if you really have any questions, you can kind of look at my previous video, which kind of explains the disassembly process a little bit more in depth. But for right now, we're just going to do kind of a quick thing, and I'm not really going to talk about it that much. And we are just going to focus mainly on the slide and how to disassemble it. Really, there's only going to be 4 major components when you take apart this slide, and I'm not going to be taking off the sights because there's no real reason to. But what I'm going to focus on is going to be the firing pin spring, the extractor, and this firing pin stop that slides up into the back side of this slide here. So what we're going to need to do is get a punch. Makes things a lot easier. If you're poor and you haven't invested the money yet into a punch, I suggest you do, but if you don't, you can just use like an Allen key, as long as it's the appropriate size. So basically, you're going to take this punch, and you've got your firing pin, the back of it right there. You're going to push that punch in and depress the firing pin, and also slide back the firing pin stop. Now, the firing pin is compressed by a spring in there. Well, actually, the spring is compressed onto the firing pin. So basically, this is under tension. So whenever you take off that slide stop, or the stop here for the firing pin, there's nothing that's going to stop that firing pin from shooting out. So you want to always make sure that you keep a thumb over the top of this, just to make sure you don't lose the firing pin. And there you go. So the firing pin will come out from the rear just like that, and also the spring. Now, the extractor, which is located right here, if you just push that back a hair, it should be easy enough. Should need to push it back a little bit more. You can then pull the extractor out from the rear. And that comes out easy enough. So that's basically everything that you need to worry about inside the slide. Like I said, except for the rear and front sights, which I don't even know why you would want to take them off except for replacing them, because you can pretty much clean around them, and you don't have to really worry about taking those out. So as far as putting it back together, it's again real easy. Just start with the extractor here, which I almost put in backwards. Slide that in, and you'll see one side of the extractor is kind of leveled out, and that's going to meet up with the slide, just like that. Then you will take the firing pin and the firing pin spring and drop that in from the back. Get your firing pin stop. You can kind of get that started a little bit. Slid up through like that. Use your punch, and you can push that firing pin back down into its hole. And there you go. The slide is now completely put back together, and you know, it's just as easy as that. But like I said before, when you take the firing pin out, you got to depress the firing pin down into the hole, into the firing pin hole. And you always want to keep your thumb over top of it once you get that stop started a little bit, because that firing pin will shoot up. And, you know, worst case scenario, you smack your face in the eye and you hurt yourself, or you could just lose it, and it could be a kind of a pain to track down. But like I said, it's pretty easy to take apart. So the next video is going to be directed at the frame, and that's a little bit more intensive, so it's going to be a little bit longer of a video. But if you have any questions or anything, feel free to comment, and thank you for watching.